USC played with great resilience, great poise the other night. Lindsey Gottlieb was so proud of the way they stayed even-keeled emotionally, even without JuJu Watkins. And we are underway in the Elite Eight in Spokane.
Of course, the matchup to keep an eye on right here. Kennedy Smith guarding Paige Bueckers.
Kennedy, a terrific defender. Saw the way she performed on that end against Kansas State. Here's Fudd looking for help. Flings it out to Chen. Caitlin Chen into the paint. Can't hook it in. El-Alfi couldn't grab the rebound. Marshall does for USC. Smith dumping it down. Uriefin gets an early touch. One-on-one. Can't finish it. And El-Alfi the rebound.
Uriefin does a terrific job of rim running. Got down. She likes to go over that right shoulder. UConn worked on that a lot today in their shoot-around, defending it.
Look at Kennedy Smith just blow up the handoff. Here's Smith all the way in, and that's an early personal on Paige Bueckers. Now, they charge that foul for the moment to Chen rather than Bueckers. So she gets called with the personal rather than Paige. Here's Bueckers. Chen trying to take one off and into the corner. Strong. Connects. Out of three. I talked about it. It was maybe the first time this year we'd seen Strong look like a freshman with some of the indecision. Well, certainly no indecision on that attempt. Marshall unable to finish on the interior. Here's Bueckers backing down, kicking out. El-Alfi thought better of it. Chen in the mid-range, short.
That's where Caitlin Chen is very good and very confident.
Here's Marshall. With a couple of big mid-range jumpers in the second half the other night. Uriefin, December 21st at UConn. Bueckers leaning, can't hit. Marshall the rebound, flings it down the floor. And an easy interception there for Chen. Fudd spinning, couldn't finish it, and Marshall snatches that one down, and again getting it down the floor, this time successfully. Uriefin kicks it out. Marshall putting it on the deck and laying it in.
The pace of this game has been incredible so far without hardly any whistles. USC with 2 players at the scorer's table.
Fudd short. And Kennedy Smith the rebound. Smith launches, knocked away, but controlled by Marshall. Marshall hoops through and finishes.
The USC post players are doing a terrific job.
Bueckers dishes, poked away by Smith. Here's Howell evading Bueckers. Uriefin. Directing traffic. Guarded by Strong. Kiki fading and hitting. Sarah Strong on the drive. Can't flip it in, and Howell the rebound. And Geno Auriemma very upset. Wants this team to run their offense here.
Right now, this is exactly the kind of pace that USC wants to play. The faster, the better.
Raffo gives it up. Uriefin knocks it down.
Unstoppable from 17 feet, driving to the basket as well.
Connecticut has missed its last 6. Paige Bueckers trying to get a touch in the post. Strong again from deep. What a big shot from Sarah Strong.
This young woman is a freshman, and she looks like she's been here before, even though she's never been in this moment before.
There's the #1 recruit this past year. Fudd comes under the steal and is fouled. She talked about with us today about Kiki is how lucky am I, she said, as a coach, that I can lose a player like JuJu and still have one who demands a double or a triple team like Kiki Uriefin. Thus far, Kiki has been very good here in the Elite Eight. As Strong hits again. Sarah Strong looking totally settled in. An 11-10 lead for USC in this first quarter. Winner advances to the Final Four. Bueckers, another big steal. Here comes Bueckers with numbers. Strong connects again. And Geno Auriemma told us today that he wants to get Sarah Strong a lot of shots tonight. She has had them in this first. Here's Howell. Off to Uriefin, and that's a travel.
Well, the thing that's made Geno brilliant all these years is he knows which player to push the buttons, what, when. Today at shoot-around, it was Sarah Strong coming off a little bit of a tentative performance in her last game. He started running a lot of stuff for her in right into this game right now.
Such a great point. Alias Bueckers gets on the board. It's not every day you see the coach of the team that the foul was called on pantomiming the correct call.
Yes.
This is why you got the foul. 2 seconds left. Heckel, no. And that'll do it for the first.
She has just been very unfreshman-like here in this moment.
Let's check out tonight's game track, brought to you by Invesco QQQ. UConn ending that quarter on a 9-0 run as Paige turns it over. USC has turned it over 5 times in the last 4.5 minutes. Here's Von Oelhoffen. Looking inside to Smith, who got great position, couldn't finish. Auriemma trying to grab the rebound. Marshall banks it in. Here's Bueckers. Backing away. Bueckers eyeing up Marshall. Fakes the 3. Wanted to dish it. Still plenty of time. Strong spinning and finishing. Just the second UConn freshman to ever top 600 points. The legend Maya Moore is the other. Smith can't hit the jumper. Here's Arnold dashing inside and finishing. That is KK Arnold's game.
We've seen her impact the last possession defensively. She was all over Von Oelhoffen, making things a challenge. She brings incredible energy to this UConn team.
Here's Fudd. Fudd fakes the 3. Fudd kicks to Strong. Another 3. You bet! Marshall on the other end gets a much-needed bucket.
See if you can fatigue her a little bit.
Arnold dives in, couldn't finish. Rebound off of shade, out of bounds. Nice job defensively. Strong is 6 of 7 from the floor, is 15 points. The likely freshman of the year in the nation, Marshall dives in and gets fouled by Bueckers.
We've seen her hit mid-range jumpers here, going up strong.
And Marshall sinks the first.
She's actually sacrificed heavily. She decided to give up fried food for 30 days. That meant no Wingstop, no Popeyes. She said everyone on the team was giving up something for me. That's my, my Achilles. I love the fried food, but she is lean, she is mobile, and you have seen her produce.
Bueckers on the other end, finishes plus the foul. And then the flex from Paige Bueckers, who has a chance for 3. Bueckers completes the 3-point play.
This is the first time UConn has gone with their smaller lineup, and you have Paige Bueckers playing the 4, that time defending Rhea Marshall.
Here's Fudd. Stopping, diving, got blocked by Smith. What a defender. Kennedy Smith is the freshman. He's one of the top-rated recruits in the country heading into this year. And a big bucket there. Here's Bueckers. Nice look, Strong. Gets denied by Smith. Here's Heckel. Looking to dump it inside. Marshall has it stripped. Bueckers comes up with it. Good hands from Strong. Chen to the rim.
UConn goes small. Do we counter with small?
Now they have. Auriemma gets tied up, and it's going to be a held ball. Possession arrow stays with USC. Pretty good resource.
Yeah, I'd say.
2.5 on the shot clock here. Gets thrown off the backboard, and Strong ends up collecting it. Here's Bueckers. Bueckers going one-on-one with Von Oelhoffen and gets fouled. Paige Bueckers, first player in program history with at least 30 in back-to-back tournament games as well. But all of her teammates have talked about seeing Paige now more aggressive and what it means to this team when she gets in that kind of a zone. Started to really see it in the Big East tournament. Here's Auriemma. Off to Von Oelhoffen. Smith to the corner. Samuels. 8 to shoot. USC without a made 3 in this half. Auriemma double. Shot clock fading. Samuels leaning. Can't bank it in. Auriemma the rebound and taken away by Shade. Here comes Bueckers. Bueckers cutting through. Can't finish, but again gets the whistle. Paige Bueckers is going back to the line. 29 second-half points in that game. It's the second foul on Von Oelhoffen as Bueckers misses. Now that missed free throw is significant because she needed to make 5 straight in order to get back to 90% from the line. She dipped under 90%. The nugget was nice while it lasted.
It was.
Here's Smith. Spinning inside. Kennedy Smith with the no-look reverse gets fouled. Is the number 6 recruit in the country this past year.
Well, Beth Burns, who's the assistant coach that's the defensive coordinator for this USC team, a veteran of 40 years of coaching, says that Kennedy Smith is the best and smartest defensive player she has ever coached.
Hey, I mean, you see her right now. She's just doing a good job using physicality. When she's switched onto post, she's done the same thing.
There's Chen firing away. No. Rebound Auriemma. By the way, that foul that was called on the Smith attempt was number 2 on Ashlyn Shade. A key reserve for Connecticut goes to the bench. Marshall, center of the lane. Flips it in. The lead for Connecticut down to 5. Here's Fudd. A quiet first half thus far for AZ Fudd. Strong. Not that time. A rare miss for Sarah Strong, who was 3 for 3 from deep. Hasn't scored in a while now. Smith, back iron and off. Strong, another rebound. That is her 8th of the half. Chen zipping up the floor. Chen all the way in for 2. Her being unafraid was something Geno Auriemma emphasized to us this morning at shoot-around. Hackle, what a spin. Couldn't quite finish it. Rebound number 9 for Strong. Here comes Chen. Chen off one leg. Banks it in. Puts the foul. How about Caitlin Chen, the Princeton transfer?
Well, there's a reason she's starting at UConn after her career at Princeton. She got to the NCAA Tournament every single year at Princeton. She was the Ivy League Player of the Year last year, and when she came in, Geno Auriemma said, I trust her. She's strong to the hoop. She makes quick decisions.
Largest lead of the game for the Huskies.
Easy Fudd now on Ray Marshall.
Here's Auriemma, pull-up jumper, in and out, rebound Bueckers. Here's Fudd with some haste. 2 for 1 opportunity for Connecticut. That's not usually a focus, though, in the collegiate game. Bueckers a 3. You bet! For Paige Bueckers, largest lead for Connecticut. What a tough bucket. Bueckers letting the clock wind here. Strong turns, dishes, Bueckers again! What a finish to the first half for Paige Bueckers in UConn. Fudd was scoreless in the first half. Kennedy Smith on Bueckers. She did such a nice job in her minutes on Paige Bueckers in that first half. Here's Chen. Strong. Guarded by Auriemma. Picked up the dribble. 3 to shoot. Bueckers trying to make something happen. Cannot. Now Alfie, the rebound in a crowd, gets blocked out of bounds, will stay here.
Everybody else who's defended Paige, 24 possessions, 11 points allowed. She is smothering, just absolutely enjoying watching this freshman.
She's 6'1", can move her feet, has used her physicality beautifully here against Paige Bueckers.
Strong will take, and hit from 3. Avery Howell was so good in the Sweet 16, yet to score here in the Elite 8. Marshall tried to get it to the corner, could not. Now does. Smith with space will take. Can't hit from 3, and Strong another rebound. USC 0 for 6 now from 3. Chen gets denied. What a block.
Coach Auriemma told us at the beginning of the tournament, 3 players that were going to be very key to his team in terms of how far they could go. Ashlyn Shade, KK Arnold, Caitlin Chen, because those are the players that the defense can help off of onto Sarah Strong or Paige Bueckers.
Bueckers the crossover and gets fouled from behind.
She says she's not a coach who just pulls a player out if they get 2 fouls in the first half. And here, Smith with her 3rd one early here in the 3rd.
Last year, she picked up 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes. And she said, hey, Talked about how the analytics favor leaving your player in as Fudd fouls Von Offen. She's just so thoughtful about everything. Former high school basketball star at Scarsdale High School in Westchester County in New York.
See USC extending their pressure after those free throws. 1-2-2.
Oh, Bueckers the spin, couldn't quite finish it. Auriemma the rebound. USC make a push here, down 17. Smith has it taken away, but a foul, and Fudd is going to pick up her second. Now, Fudd, the first two games of this tournament, shot lights out, was 53% from the floor, 10 of 19 from three. Other night against Oklahoma, was 4 for 13, 1 of 5 from three. Has the 0 for so far. Von Offen at a three is good. A much-needed one for the Trojans.
Tough shot. Caitlin Chen went behind the on-ball screen, and Talia Von Offen just stepped in with so much confidence there.
First three of the night for USC. Bueckers will fire. It's hit from three. Paige Bueckers has been dialed in from deep. 18 for Bueckers. She's 3 of 4 from downtown as Von Offen able to finish through the contact. Meanwhile, Bueckers 12 for 17 from three. There's Chen. Off to Bueckers. Bueckers trying to take out. Paige Bueckers has another bucket. 20 points for Paige Bueckers. Auriemma can't get that to drop. Waffle the rebound, and Heckel able to serve it in the paint. We talked about as well, Rebecca, the way she's had success when Smith went to the bench with her third foul. Strong waits and finishes Sarah Strong. Smith dumps it in. Auriemma off to Samuels. Smith hawked in the corner by Arnold. Smith, oh, what a Euro. Big time finish from Kennedy Smith. Kennedy Smith also completely fearless. Willing to meet any moment. Arnold digs in, can't bank it home, and finally, the rebound secured by USC. Waffle gets it away to Heckel. Can the Trojans make a little noise here in the last 3:30 of the third?
I'll tell you what, Sarah Strong, what she's done on the defensive end, trying to keep the ball out of Kiki Auriemma's hands.
Heckel gets fouled there by Arnold, and we'll go to the line. No one can match when it comes to Elle Duncan. Now, she is a remarkably talented on-air personality. She's an even better after-party DJ.
So many opportunities throughout the course of a game to make a strong pun. And so I actually asked Sarah Strong.
Here's Fudd. Yet to score in this game. A player who's capable of dropping 30. Here's Fudd, backdoor, waits, and traveled. As AZ Fudd turns it over. And you can see Chris Daly saying, stop it to Geno.
How many times do you think that's come out of her mouth over the course of the last 40 years?
Yeah, 4 decades worth for sure. Marshall hits the jumper, and USC making a little push here. When I saw it, I felt absolutely sick to my stomach as Fudd can't hit the three. She said, but I know it's going to be a triumphant story. I've reached out to her and let her know I'm here for anything you need as you go through this journey.
Yeah, when you look at the teams that I will say left in the Sweet 16, there was no player more important to her team's success than JuJu.
As Paige comes up with an outstanding rejection.
Do it with completely avoiding contact.
And just to put a ball on that, obviously everybody sees the incredible player that JuJu Watkins is, but when you talk to her coaches, you talk to her teammates, they talk about the way the person JuJu Watkins has completely transformed the entire program. Here's Auriemma battling inside. Strong whacks it out. Another chance for USC. Trying to make a push here. Von Olofsen can't hit the three, and Auriemma is fouled.
Very next night, I worked at an NBA game, and I'm telling you, I had over 100 people from security guards, ushers, coaches, players ask me about JuJu Watkins, her impact and reach.
To see her back out on the floor. Meanwhile, Auriemma makes it a single-digit deficit. Strong has 20 points in this game. So does Bueckers, both doing it efficiently. Strong, whoa. Strong, fends off Smith, no call, Fudd. Can't hit the three, she's now 0 for 8 and an over-the-back call. Here's Rhea Marshall, 71% on the season from the line. And Marshall hits the first. And Kennedy Smith looked up like, really? And Kennedy, we understand why.
Yes.
Marshall hits both free throws. It works out. Bueckers lobs it in. Here's Strong. The handoff. Bueckers may have to do it herself. Fudd, 3 to shoot. Fudd into the lane. The pull-up is off. Now 0 for 9. Here's Von Olofsen. With the shot clock turned off. A 9-0 USC run. A.Z. Fudd 0 for 13 on the season against USC. Von Olofsen barges in and flips it home. How about the finish to the third for USC? Largest lead for USC, December 21st, was 18. UConn then tied it in the fourth. Can USC return the favor here? Now that game they did, USC eventually hold on to win. Auriemma trying to go at Strong, leans in, can't finish. Rebound Strong. Sarah Strong has been terrific defensively on Kiki Auriemma in this game. Meanwhile, Aubrey Griffin getting minutes here for Connecticut. Fudd a three. It is good. Fourth quarter action. Winner goes to the Final Four in Tampa. Great lob inside, and Marshall gets fouled. Back to the line, where she's 4 for 4 in the game. It's the first.
She said, I remember it like yesterday from my kitchen in Cleveland, calling my very first player. It was Rhea Marshall. She had signed with USC, but after the coaching transition, Lindsay was scared she'd leave. She's a kid from South Central LA.
Bueckers with 5 to shoot. Bueckers leaning and hitting. Paige Bueckers with 22 points. USC having trouble getting it in, and it's stolen. Here's Griffin kicking out, and Connecticut will reset.
You see Geno Auriemma on the sideline. The last couple of possessions, he has orchestrated. He wants the two-player game.
Bueckers, you Bueckers told us that pick and roll with Sarah Strong. It is such a safety net for them now as a team when they need a bucket. Strong the deflection and steal. Fudd another three. It is good! A little smile across the face of A.Z. Fudd, who's hit 2 straight. An 8-0 Connecticut run. Howell gets fouled by Fudd.
It's got to be such a relief after you've struggled so much of the game to score, to hit a couple.
I don't care how much A.Z. Fudd misses. She needs to keep shooting. Kept shooting, got hot, and had a monster second half for Connecticut. In this game, has hit 2 big threes after starting the game 0 for 9 from the floor.
And some of them plays drawn up out of timeouts when she hadn't yet made one.
Bueckers, 2 more for Paige Bueckers. Still a lot of time left in this game. Marshall, deep catch. Marshall unable to finish. Strong and Auriemma battling, and it's going to be a held ball. Possession arrow belongs to Connecticut. There's Bueckers. Bueckers has it knocked away. Fudd goes back door and lays it in. 3:40 to go in the fourth quarter of this Elite Eight matchup. Howell lets it fly. Can't hit. Marshall underneath. Couldn't flip it in. Another chance for Marshall. And she gets fouled. And it's been completely locked in since. When you get to this time of year and you see over the last 2 games what Paige has done in the fourth, accounting for 34 of 38 UConn points, Geno Auriemma always says your program gets you to the Sweet 16, your stars get you to the Final Four. And he said, look what happened against Oklahoma, and that's what we're going to need tonight, our stars to take us there. Aubrey Griffin can't lay it in. But Geno Auriemma went to Aubrey Griffin in this fourth quarter after she didn't play last game, hadn't played this whole game.
A player who is unique, one of the best athletes on this Connecticut team.
Rhea Marshall, a season high, 20 points tonight.
Then what she has done, the last few games.
Texas, South Carolina in the other matchup. Bueckers into the lane, and it's knocked away. Here comes Auriemma. Samuels on the move. Look like she might have a layup. Howe trying to find space, could not. Marshall ramming in and banking it.
Still finishing the tough banker.
Big possession here for Connecticut. Griffin back to Fudd, fakes the handoff. Chen coming around, 7 to shoot. Chen lays it in, post the foul. So specific with us at shoot around, talking about how Chen is unafraid and he wants opportunities for her in the lane in this game. She has had them, she has cashed in on them. 12-point Connecticut lead. 1:50 to go. Heckel pedaling through traffic. Heckel spins it up and off. Auriemma can't get that one to drop. Is 0 for 11 since. What has Connecticut been able to do defensively on one of the best bigs in the country?
Players have driven in and she's like hesitated over and then recovered back to hers. She's just been a really tough matchup for whoever she's been defending.
Auriemma under 1:30 to go. 10-point UConn lead. Strong to Chen to the cup.
All of those years until this season, UConn decimated by injury.
Powell connects on a 3. Single-digit deficit.
Yeah, really well executed.
Strong bounces in, and Von Olhoffen fouls Chen. It was going to be in a tough spot there in the corner. No matter what happens in this final minute here, Rebecca, Lindsey Gottlieb and USC have to be so proud. It has been so impressive.
Well, without question.
The band's face paint has evolved, but the talent of the freshmen has not. And a turnover here. To be clear, when I say not going anywhere anytime soon, I mean not going away. They are going to be playing in these kind of games and beyond for a long time.
Yes.
Bueckers is fouled by Marshall. You know, and just to put a bow on that with USC, we certainly hope.
I hope we see her when she is completely and fully healthy and back to being one of the most dominant scorers in the women's college game.
46 seconds remaining in the fourth. Von Olhoffen looking in. Von Olhoffen drives the baseline, dribbled it out of bounds. Bueckers, it gets stolen by Kennedy Smith. Howe will launch and hit from 3. That makes it a 10-point game. And Paige Bueckers has another 30-point game. Bueckers hits them both. 12-point Connecticut lead. It is all cosmetic at this point. 24 seconds remaining in the fourth. Howe leaning, can't hit. Rebound Strong, and Auriemma will foul Strong with 9.6 to go. AZ Fudd missed her first 9 shots, but it's 2 big threes in the fourth. Von Olofsen dribbles it up the floor. 5 seconds remaining. And the Connecticut Huskies are headed to a record 24th Final Four.
UConn Huskies 78, USC Trojans